Welcome to the ATC Life Builders Podcast. I'm your host, James Oviedo. And in today's episode, we'll cover strategies and advice on remaining positive when life throws challenges your way and it all seems unfair. Join us as we explore methods to stay upbeat and resilient. We'll delve into understanding the very nature of the obstacles that make us feel this way, the psychology behind maintaining a positive mindset, and we'll share practical, actionable strategies to help you navigate these tough times. Whether it's through personal stories or scientific insights, we're here to light that spark of positivity. So get cozy and let's start the journey to a more optimistic and better version of you. Life isn't always a smooth ride. Sometimes it feels like an obstacle course where the hurdles keep getting higher and higher, and the finish line seems to move farther and farther away from us. It's easy to look at these hurdles and think, why me? We've all been there, facing situations that seem to scream unfairness from the top of their lungs. But what exactly are these barriers made of? Well, they can come from just about anywhere. A dream job that slips through your fingers, a relationship that takes a turn we never expected, or a health concern that comes out of the blue. These setbacks can feel incredibly personal, as if the universe has somehow conspired against us. Let's talk about our first response to these challenges. The initial sting can evoke a whirlwind of emotions: anger, confusion, helplessness, and the list goes on and on. It's not just about feeling sad, it's about dealing with a cocktail of feelings that can really knock us right off our feet. During these moments, it's natural for us to have a perspective that narrows and we tend to fixate on the problem. And unfortunately, that can lead us to missing out on potential solutions or support because we're so deep in our own heads. Seeing someone else breeze through life while you're grappling with issues doesn't help either. It's that moment when you're scrolling through social media and all you see are smiling faces, accomplishments, and holidays. It can feel like everyone else has got it easy. Of course, we know that everyone has their own battles to fight, but acknowledging that truth can be really tough when you're neck deep in your own struggles. It's particularly tricky because the feeling of unfairness doesn't usually come with a quick fix. It's not like flipping a switch and suddenly everything's right in the world again. It's a complex web of emotions, circumstance, and yes, sometimes just plain bad luck. By understanding the nature of what we're up against, we can begin to pull apart what's really happening and why it's so impactful. Sure, recognizing the complexity of our challenges won't magically take them away, but it does give us a starting point to move forward. So, as we continue our journey through today's discussion, remember that you're not in it alone, facing these feelings of unfairness. This is something that we have said over and over again in our podcast. You're not in it. We should develop ourselves, but always be thinking about the importance of the community and the impact that we can have on the community. We've all been at that point where we're looking for that light switch in the dark to get some light. It's part of the shared human experience, and there's comfort in knowing that we all navigate this maze of life with its unexpected twists and turns, and we do it together. When life hits you with a curveball, it can often feel personal, like the universe is somehow conspiring against you. But here's a little secret? It's not. In fact, the universe is not conspiring in your favor either. It simply exists with or without your acknowledgement. The universe is indifferent. It does what it does. It's life, and it does not need your approval, consent, or assistance. It does, however, function in a beautiful and mysteriously perfect way. And life continues to happen and exist even when you're sleeping. It existed before us and it will continue after we're gone. And yes, you can align yourself with it because we're a part of it. And that's where understanding the psychology of positivity can play a massive role in how we cope with life's challenges. Now, let's dive into the cognitive side of things. Our brains have this incredible plasticity, which means they can be reshaped over time. By actively practicing positive thinking, we can encourage our gray matter to default to optimism rather than pessimism. It's like building mental muscle. The more you do it, the stronger it gets. But how do we start flexing this positivity muscle? First of all, it's about recognizing that your thoughts directly influence your emotions and your behaviors too. This is a fundamental principle of cognitive behavioral therapy, or CBT for short. It teaches us that by changing our thoughts, we can change how we feel and act, even when our external circumstances are less than favorable. That's incredible because it means neurons are firing and rewiring to hardwiring new worldviews. There's also the concept of learned optimism, developed by psychologist Martin Seligman. This idea builds on the fact that just as we can learn to be pessimistic, we can also train ourselves to be optimistic. It involves recognizing and disputing pessimistic thoughts, kind of like courtroom in your head. You hear the negative thought, you challenge it, you present evidence to the contrary. And most often, you'll find the case for pessimism doesn't stand up to scrutiny. So, what does this look like in practical terms? When you're faced with a setback, instead of saying to yourself, I knew it, things never go my way, you pause and reframe the thought. Okay, this didn't work out as I hoped, but it doesn't mean everything is terrible. What can I learn from this? Is there something I can do differently next time? It's important to note that positivity isn't about pretending that everything is perfect. It's about recognizing that even though you're in a tough spot, you still have some control over how you interpret and respond to situations. Another psychological strategy is the broaden and build theory proposed by Barbara Fredrickson. This theory suggests that experiencing positive emotions like joy and love can broaden your awareness and encourage novel, varied, and explorative thoughts and actions. Over time, this builds skills and resources for you. For example, taking a moment to truly savor a small victory can propel you to seek out other positive experiences, which in turn creates a virtuous circle of positivity. But it's not just about the mind. Our bodies also participate in the positivity game. Simple actions like smiling or taking deep controlled breaths can induce a state of calm and help foster a more positive frame of mind. Plus, regular exercise isn't just good for your physical health. It can increase endorphins and serotonin, which are your body's natural mood lifters. And let's not underestimate the power of social support, right? Because you're not in it alone. Surrounding yourself with positive, supportive people creates an environment where positivity can flourish. Just as emotions can be contagious, so too can good attitudes. Being around others who embody the positive mindset you're striving for can make it that much easier to maintain it for yourself. In essence, by learning the psychological tricks of the trade and employing strategies to incorporate them into your daily life, you build a reservoir of positivity that you can see will help you through the inevitable curveballs. Because let's be for real, it's not about if they come, it's about when and how you'll navigate through them when they do show up. And with a positive mindset, you're not just surviving, you're thriving. So, what are some practical strategies you can actually use to stay positive when you're faced with life's curveballs? Here's what you can do. First and foremost, start maintaining a gratitude journal. This isn't just about writing things down that you're thankful for, though that's a really great start. It's also about recognizing the small victories and those moments of joy that occur in your everyday life. Maybe you had a really good cup of coffee this morning, or perhaps a stranger smiled at you at work. These are the nuggets of happiness that can brighten your days. So jot them down. Over time, you'll be able to look back on a whole collection of positive moments, which can be incredibly uplifting when you're feeling down. Another powerful action you can take is to seek support. Reach out to friends and family or consider joining a support group. Sharing your burden not only helps lighten the load, but also allows you to hear others and their perspectives and their solutions. Sometimes just knowing you're not alone in your struggles can make all the difference in the world. Now, let's talk about cultivating resilience. This is your ability to bounce back from setbacks, and it's like a muscle that you have to build up over time. One way to do that is to challenge your negative thoughts. When you catch yourself spiraling into a pool of negativity, pause and ask, is this thought helpful? Is it true? Often you'll find that these negative thoughts are based on fear rather than reality. By questioning them, you can start to take away their power and control. Embracing a problem solving mindset can also be a game changer. When you encounter an obstacle, instead of asking, why is this happening to me? Switch to, how can I overcome this? This small shift in thinking moves you from a victim mentality to an empowered one. Lastly, remember that self-care is essential. It might seem like fluffy advice, but taking care of your physical and mental health can significantly impact your outlook. Exercise, eat healthily, get enough sleep, and don't hesitate to indulge in your favorite activities. Have fun. When you're physically and emotionally nourished, you're in a much stronger position to tackle life's challenges with a positive attitude. These strategies are more than just platitudes. They are the tools you can use to carve out moments of happiness and peace in a world that often seems tilted against us. Try incorporating them into your life bit by bit and watch as the scales start to tip in the direction of positivity. Life is unpredictable and often messy, and sometimes it can feel like we're the only ones struggling while everyone else has it all together. But let me tell you, that's far from the truth. Everyone faces adversity at one point or another, and today I want to share some inspiring stories of individuals and communities who face their fair share of challenges head on with a spirit of positivity that we can learn from. Take, for instance, the story of Amy Curry. After losing both her legs below the knee to meningitis, Amy could have easily let despair take over. Instead, she chose to embrace her new reality with a positive outlook. Not only did she learn to snowboard with prosthetics, but she also went on to become a Paralympic medalist. Her journey hasn't been easy, but by focusing on her capabilities rather than her limitations, Amy has inspired countless others to adopt a similar attitude in their own lives. Now let's talk about the community in Joplin, Missouri. In 2011, they were hit by a devastating tornado that claimed 161 lives and destroyed thousands of homes. But the citizens of Joplin didn't let this tragedy define them. Banding together, they focused on recovery efforts and supporting one another through the hardship. Their resilience and positive spirit became a beacon of hope and showed the world how community solidarity can shine a light even in the darkest of times. And it's not just about facing physical challenges or natural disasters. Positivity can also be a powerful tool in social and emotional contexts. The example of Malala Yousafzai, a young Pakistan activist who, despite an attempt on her life by the Taliban, continues to champion education for girls. Her unwavering positive outlook on the potential for change has made her a role model for millions. What these examples show us is that a positive attitude isn't about denying the pain or the difficulty of a situation. Instead, it's about finding a way to see beyond the immediate obstacle and believing in the possibility of a better tomorrow. These stories serve as powerful reminders that when we face our own challenges, there are lessons to be learned and encouragement to be gleaned from those who have walked through these tough paths before. The key to staying positive in the face of adversity isn't just about an inherent trait, a lucky mindset. It's about making a deliberate choice every day to look for the good, reach out for the support, and keep moving forward one step at a time. So let's carry these stories with us as fuel for our journey through the complexities of life. Now let's shift gears a bit and talk about something I like to call engaging with life. You know, sometimes it feels like we're just going through the motions, especially when faced with unfair challenges. It's like getting caught in a downpour without an umbrella. Totally miserable, right? But what if I told you that there's an actual silver lining to these clouds? First off, I want to encourage you to really savor good moments. Picture this. You're having an amazing slice of pizza. Instead of scarfing it down, you savor each bite, right? The flavor, the texture, the aroma. That's what I mean by savoring the moment. It's like any positive experience, a beautiful sunset, a brief chat with a friend, even a particularly peaceful walk. When you pay full attention to these moments, you can become your umbrella for the rainy days. Now, let's talk about getting your hands dirty in a metaphorical way. Every child, they're amazing how naturally happy they are. Why is that? A big part of that is because they're fully engaged with whatever they're doing. So here's a tip. Try something new. Get creative. Take up painting or join a dance class. It's not about being perfect at it. It's about connecting with life in a new and exciting way. Another key approach is to be a little selfish with your time in a good way. Schedule you time regularly, whether it's a daily 15-minute meditation or an hour a week in your garden. Make sure you're doing something that you love, something that fills your cup. And let's not forget about being present. You've heard of mindfulness, right? It's all about being in the here and now. When you're mindful, You're not dwelling on the past or fighting about the future. You're simply living in the moment. It helps put those feelings of unfairness on mute and amplifies the good vibes. I also want to give a shout out to the power of giving. It sounds counterintuitive when you're feeling down, but helping others can actually boost your mood. Maybe volunteer at a local shelter or help a neighborhood in need. There's a certain magic in extending kindness that can make your own troubles seem lighter. Last but not least, embrace the love around you. Sometimes we forget about the amazing people in our lives during tough times. Engage with those who support you. Let them in, lean on them, laugh with them. Relationships can be your anchor, the very thing that keeps you buoyant when the seas get rough. So, yes, life has its downpour moments, its unfair twists and turns. But remember, every single day holds an opportunity, a chance to fully engage with life and make the most of the good moments. And those good moments, they stack up, my friend. They become the counterbalance, the equalizer to the unfairness. So take hold of them, engage with them, and let them lift you up. To wrap up today, we explored ways to stay positive when life seems unfair. Thank you for joining us at ATC Life Builders Podcast. And remember to hold on to hope and look for the silver lining, even on the cloudy days. Whether it's embracing the psychology of positivity, implementing practical strategies like gratitude journals, or engaging with the beauty in everyday moments, there are countless approaches to maintaining your well-being against life's challenges. From all of us here, from my heart to yours, we appreciate you tuning in and wish you strength, resilience, and joy on the journey ahead. Until next time, keep fostering that positive spirit and be that person that is always thinking community.